border security is national security. The middle way has been tried, tested, and found to fail. And so if you want to stop this, you've got to really take the hardest possible approach, because that is the most humane way to tackle this. I think the Illegal Migration Act was right. It said that if you come here illegally, for example on a small boat, your asylum claim will be inadmissible. You won't have a route to a life here. Now, obviously, what we've got to do is get the Rwanda policy up and running so that those people can be returned either to their home country, if it's a safe place like Albania, or to a safe third country like Rwanda. The way to do that is to have the strongest possible legal framework that breaks through the barriers of removing people. But I'm hopeful that we can get that policy up and running and that it can work. We are in an age of mass migration, and that all developed countries like the UK, Europe, and the United States are going to be facing a generational issue of millions of people on the move, looking to come primarily for economic prospects, and that we need to take the most robust action possible. And that's why it's very important that we learn from what other countries are doing and experiencing. And the United States is in the midst of a migration crisis. I think that's a portent of what could happen here in the UK if we don't go further, faster. And so I wanted to see for myself what is happening down on the US southern border. And last year, over 3 million illegal migrants crossed that border, over 300,000 in the month of December alone. But there are some politicians who are taking that robust action. And the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, a Republican, is one of those who's trying to battle with this issue. And I wanted to see some of the work that he and others have been doing there. And one of the things I saw, which I strongly supported in the past, is the use of physical infrastructure like buoys that can blockade rivers like the Rio Grande.
There's something we can do quickly. We can put it there, and it deters large groups of people from moving in that area. We can control it. Because of the water and the buoyancy of these, it's very difficult to be able to go through these. Very difficult to come over it.
I implemented those as immigration minister on the canals and the estuaries of northern France, and I think that is something that we should take up now on a much bigger scale with the French, putting them in the shallow waters off the beaches of northern France to stop the boats in a humane way from ever getting into the English Channel. Geopolitical instability, increasingly protracted conflicts, climate change, and improving living standards will all contribute to even greater migratory flows. Even the World Economic Forum predicts that migration will become one of the top 5 global risks in the next decade.
Former UK Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick's recent expedition to the southern border of the United States has unveiled groundbreaking strategies in the battle to fortify national borders and combat illegal migration. Jenrick's fact-finding mission has unearthed critical insights, shining a spotlight on innovative approaches to bolstering border security. Among the most significant findings is a pioneering tactic centered on the deployment of border buoys, poised to revolutionize the way nations protect their borders. This cutting-edge strategy represents a paradigm shift in border protection, offering a formidable deterrent against illicit crossings and signaling a new era in safeguarding sovereign territories.
From the Mediterranean or the English Channel to the Rio Grande, thousands of people, millions of people, are taking risks with their lives. Thousands of people are losing their lives. Those that make the journey successfully are overwhelmingly young, fit, single men who are healthy and comparatively rich enough to travel, often with women and children left behind.
Furthermore, it is imperative to address the complexities surrounding the acceptance of young male individuals fleeing their countries due to economic hardship or conflict.
We have allowed our streets to be dominated by Islamist extremists, and British Jews and others to be too intimidated to walk through central London week after week.
While humanitarian concerns often drive nations to extend assistance to those in need, there's a growing recognition that simply accepting such individuals may not address the root causes of migration or contribute to long-term solutions. There is a pressing need to acknowledge that accepting large numbers of young males fleeing their countries may inadvertently burden host nations and pose significant challenges to societal integration and national security. Experience, particularly in nations like Sweden, underscores the challenges associated with integrating large numbers of migrants who may not fully assimilate into the cultural fabric of their host societies. The failure to integrate can lead to social tensions, strain public resources, and even contribute to increased criminal activity. Rather than offering a sustainable solution, unchecked acceptance of migrants can perpetuate cycles of dependency and hinder efforts to address underlying issues in their countries of origin. Jenrick's exploration of the US-Mexico border highlighted the transformative impact of border buoys in bolstering maritime security and deterring unauthorized entry. Leveraging cutting-edge technology and strategic placement, these floating barriers serve as formidable obstacles to maritime trafficking routes, disrupting the operations of human smugglers and criminal syndicates. Border buoys emerge as a game-changing tool in the fight against transnational crime and irregular migration. Drawing parallels from his experience in northern France, where he spearheaded initiatives to combat perilous channel crossings, Jenrick underscores the efficacy of maritime blockade measures in safeguarding territorial integrity and preserving public safety. By extending the deployment of border buoys along vulnerable coastlines and maritime routes, policymakers can proactively mitigate security risks, protect national borders, and uphold the rule of law. Furthermore, Jenrick advocates for a holistic approach to border management, emphasizing the importance of collaboration between government agencies, law enforcement authorities, and international partners. By fostering coordination and information-sharing initiatives, countries can enhance situational awareness, streamline border operations, and respond effectively to emerging threats. In navigating the complex terrain of migration policy, Jenrick underscores the need for a compassionate yet pragmatic approach. While advocating for robust border enforcement measures, he also emphasizes the importance of targeted assistance and resettlement efforts for vulnerable populations, aligning migration policies with humanitarian principles and British values of fairness and compassion.
We've got to have a plan to stop the illegal immigration across the English Channel. That means we've got to stop the boats. The migrant crisis is growing across the whole of Europe. Last year, well over 300,000 illegal migrants entered Europe. So there's no surprise we ended up with some 46,000 at least entering the UK. And let's be under no illusion, this year there will be many, many more. But that requires political will, political courage, leadership.
As policymakers grapple with the evolving challenges of mass migration, Jenrick's insights offer a blueprint for strengthening sovereign borders and fostering resilient societies. By harnessing the transformative potential of border buoys and embracing innovative solutions, governments can confront security challenges, safeguard national interests, and build a safer, more secure future for all. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue delivering insightful content like this. By liking and subscribing, you're not just supporting our channel, but also joining a community committed to understanding and shaping the future. Remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and let's build a brighter tomorrow together.